a complete guide to creating animation using Chroma tools. So basically this tutorial includes a very detailed explanation about creating animation, recording it and editing professionally. So let's dive in. First of all, let me break this whole tutorial into small chapters. Chapter 1 is basic workflow and setup. In this chapter, we will see how to set up Chroma tools, points to ponder, most importantly the usage of this platform and knowing the resources in this platform. Here we also explain how to understand the flow of storyline. Second chapter is about recorders. Even though there is an inbuilt recorder available in this platform, quality and time management cannot be guaranteed. So, custom recorders are being used. Pros and cons of these custom recorders at Extra are being explained. As generally system shuts down, so we'll have to keep things custom. Third chapter is about getting started with Chroma. From very basic, a detailed walkthrough of each and every tools in Chroma tools are being explained here. Fourth chapter is about background. Background selection is very important process for storytelling. In this chapter, we'll see the different ways to use quality and theme-based background. Fifth chapter will be about characters. Character setting is second important thing in animation to background. Feelings, emotion and movement setting is being explained here. So we'll see different scenarios to set a character for a particular scene. Sixth chapter is about animation and its methods. Basically how you will do the real work using the resources available in the Chroma Toon app and different methods that you can implement. Seventh chapter. After going through each and every step, we'll be going through story animation. Prince and his anger and do create some good animation. From 8th chapter, we'll move towards post-production process, editing and voiceover. So 8th chapter will be about voiceover. Voiceover tips are being explained here to get decent sound clarity. Chapter 9 would be final editing. Final editing of animated clips using professional video editing platform. Here we use Adobe Premiere Pro, of which we will explain basic editing process. Chapter 10. It would be some final things that one should kept in mind while doing this whole process. So that's all. Let's dive in chapter 1. Chapter 1. Basic workflow and setup. So install Chroma Tools from Play Store. Go to your settings, apps permission, select Chroma Tools and allow all the permission, that is camera, microphone, location and storage. After installation, you will find CT-Rec Type 1 and Type 2. Now depending upon different Android, they work differently. So after working from both channels, you will be able to find yourself which one is good. For now, let's hop in CT-Rec Type 1. Click on Let's Start. Select Record Type 1 and OK. Now we'll decide a workflow. There are 3 ways. So let's look at the story. Read it once, twice, as if you are being told the tale. Thus imagine yourself happening in the mind. So understanding the concept, we can break it in these steps, right? First, in scene 1, we'll show a palace as background. Then king, queen and prince in the palace. Second scene will be king and queen going out of palace. Third scene will be showing something of prince angry behavior due to his boredom. Fourth is prince going out of the place and palace moves. Fifth would be prince follows and finds every time the palace hides and causes more damage. Sixth is the prince sleeping and palace moves and palace locks doors and windows and runs. Seventh will be palace going somewhere in North Pole with icy background and then prince would come out of palace and feel cold and try to get back into palace and palace doors won't open. Eighth step can be prince and palace will start a war. Ninth scene can be prince repairs the palace. 10th would be palace opens the door and comes back to kingdom. 11th would be king and queen arrives and ending and with moral. So this is what basically we can roughly create steps of the story, so it will be easy for us to create an animation. Now out of these 11-12 points, you will be able to create scenes individually sequence and cut itself in these Chroma tools. Second is we will just create the sequence all in one with a technique of play and pause in the recorder. Third is we can use the green screen as background, create very raw sequence like movements, characters like prince sleeping, king and queen come, they go and all that. Now keep in mind these workflows can change according to understanding of concept of tools and story. Chapter 2 is getting started with recorder. First one is in-app recorder and you can use it directly if you want. Or you can use your own device personal recorder and that also might help. And then if you still find your recording to be choppy, lags and quality dull or say the system might hang up, then I suggest you use a complete custom recorder called Glip, which is ideally built to record 60 FPS games like PUBG and all that. So open Glip application, go to Start Recorder, set orientation to landscape, open video settings, choose quality custom, resolution to 1080p, set frames per second to 30, and under advanced bitrate option, choose bitrate to 24 Mbps. For audio setting, we don't need any. As we are recording, we're gonna use voiceover. Give all the permissions and launch the recorder. As you click start now, it will start recording. Chapter 3, Getting started with Chromatunes. So this is how your panel will look after you start Chromatunes. First of all, we'll go through each and every tools and then in detail of animation. The first button at the top right is record button. After you have set all the frames and character, this will remove all the buttons and tools and show you the final output to record. Second button from right is background. You can select different backgrounds as per your story from here, or you can also use green screen and later add it in editing process. Third button is the perspective or say zoom button. You just zoom in and out, you click on it, adjust the zooming and again click on it and lock it. Fourth button is prop button. It gives you variety of things to hold for every character in case you need it in story like knife, purse, etc. Now on top left corner, first button is play button. After animation, you can play to preview how your animation would look like. Second button below is characters. Chromatunes provide variety of characters to play with. You can select your characters as per your story from here. Third button is settings. Now there are few things here you might want to see. So click on settings. First is show keyframes. Check on it and you will be able to see a plus and minus button at right. They are to add keyframes, basically what or where the characters would be after some time. This is the tool that gives life to our animation. We'll see more in detail later. Second is don't want to use app screens record. If you are going to use Glip or any other recorder, check this button out. Now at the top right corner is particles effect. We'll also see that in later as we'll want to use some snow effect in the story. At bottom, you can set keyframes speed, basically how fast or slow you want your animation to be. Now go back. Last is special characters. We'll see that later. Now you will be able to see plus button on each character. That is basically the kind of movement you want with your animation. Alright, now you are all set for animation. Chapter 4 is background. Now there are three ways as discussed you can add background and that will always depend upon scenarios. Sometimes the in-app background will just do, or you can use the custom backgrounds that app offers. Second is you can import any image as background like this to match the situation instantly. Third one is to make animation in green screen background and then add the background afterwards in post production. Chapter 5 is characters. Now keeping the story in mind, now we want a king, queen and prince for our story, right? So scrolling all the way down, you will find that there aren't any characters such as king, queen or prince. But we can import those characters from the Chromatunes official website. First of all, go to character 4 and select none. Then we'll add other characters. Go to character 1, scroll all the way down and click on import custom. Go to official website of Chromatoon, search for king, queen and prince. Copy and paste the character name and key code. I suggest you make a note of all characters and key codes at one place. That will save you enough time. So, entering a character name, key code and that press on load. Do it for other characters too. And then finally click on show ads. Now here be very patient. Wait for ad to complete. Do not touch anything on screen while ad is going on. Once the advertisement is finished, close the advertisement by clicking the cross button and OK button will appear. Click on that and your character selection is done. Now comes chapter 6, the animation methods. Basically how you will animate a particular scene. Now there are different ways to do it, right? Depending on completely your preference, you can do any of one. First one is just create movement. Let's say walking, and we'll make it move in post-production. The benefit is you will get a wide range of moving in a path in Premiere Pro keyframe tool in effect controls. Well, this can be time consuming for simple walk animation. Second one is adding keyframes and movements. This one will see this method in the case study ahead, as this is the general and most preferable method. Last is a special case of cropping a particular scene. It is generally used to create more audience in post-production. So, now let's hop into animation. Chapter 7, Animation of Story, Prince and His Anger. So first of all, selecting the default move as idle, we are going to demonstrate a starting scene. I suggest decrease the size of all the characters and place them in order to create a starting scene. You can flip the characters if you want. Adjusting all the characters in scene, we are set to record our first scene. Clicking on record and wait for some time. So this is basically our first scene in which it shows that there was a palace and inside palace lived king, queen and his prince. Now let's move towards second scene in which king and queen goes out. So we will select default move for king and queen as walking and they will go out of the scene. So select the move walk and click on OK. Now adding keyframes on both characters king and queen simultaneously, we will add one step forward and take them out of the background. So this is how it will look in a final output. Click on the record button when you are done and then start the clip recorder and it will automatically record the whole scene. Now moving to second scene when Prince is alone, we will remove character 2 and character 3. So Prince would be alone. Now here we will show Prince is angry and bored. So again go to move and select the move angry. Make sure you remove all the keyframes that were previously added. Then changing the position of Prince at different places and showing that he is angry and is causing the damage. So we will simultaneously use the move punch and he is angry. And basically what we will do is increase the size of Prince and decrease the size of Prince to show him that he is damaging the whole palace. This way you can create animation directly with a background and your whole clips for a particular scene would be ready. Now let's move towards green screen. Now first of all we will create a raw sequence of Prince walking. And we will use that in later where Prince goes out of palace. So again with the same procedure, use the move walk and set the keyframes of Prince. Starting from the left, we will create a sequence. So take a step forward and add a keyframe. After it's all done, start the recorder and click on record button. And a sequence would be created something like this. Similarly, let's create a sequence where Prince is asleep. So we will select the move sleep and record it for 2 to 10 seconds, which we will later add in editing process where Prince is asleep in the palace and palace moves. Next we will create a sequence in which Prince is angry and is creating destruction to palace. So for that we will select a prop which is holding a knife or a sword and then selecting a move such as punching or attacking with prop, and we will show something in which Prince is causing a destruction. This way you can add and create sequences of an animation of story. Now let's hop into editing process. The first thing that comes in editing is voiceover. So chapter 8 voiceover. Open the Premiere Pro and import your voiceover sequence. Now these are basic tools which we are going to use while editing. First is this cursor tool and second is razor tool, which basically cuts the sequences. So zooming in the sequence from bottom panel, we will remove all the noises and mistakes from the voiceover sequence. So basically what you do is remove the noise or any mistake from the voiceover by using a razor tool and then joining the other sequence of voiceover. After removing all the mistakes, let's move towards the enhancement process. So from above panels, click on audio panel. You will see an interface similar like this. Now first we are going to increase the audio of the output a little bit. So click on audio clip mixer and increase the sound of A1 audio panel. Don't go too high and keep it in the range where it does not touch the rad. Then from Essential Sound panel, click on Dialogue. Click on Repair and reduce the noise a little bit. 5.1 or 5.2 would just do. You can also use the effect de-hum if your voiceover is very saturated. Then we will add an extra effect which is called parametric equalizer. So, open the audio track mixture and open the function button. So click on FX, go to Filter and EQ and select Parametric Equalizer. Double click on Parametric Equalizer and we are going to do some settings. First of all, in band, select the HP. Then increase the gain to 48 decibel per oct. Then you have to take your HP towards where your voiceover is very sharp. Place the HP where your voiceover just starts sharpening. Add a little bit gain to H and your voiceover is all set. Now the final process of editing. Go to editing panel and import all your media clips and recorded clips over here. Now basically I have used this royalty free background which are animated, and for Palace I have used a PNG file of Palace. So basically you can move the PNG file, increase its position and scale as per the background so that it fits with your story. Now this is the first scene. So basically what I did is I cutted this scene out from the recorded clip. Going all the way where first scene starts and using the blade tool to cut out the rest, and then arranging it in the sequence of voiceover. You can also adjust the background position and scale as per the characters from Effects Control, Position and Scale. Do the cuttings for all the sequences. Where King and Queen goes out, Prince start fighting, and all the clips you have recorded, and place them in the right manner according to the voiceover. So basically what I am doing is using the three tools. Number one is blade tool. Second one is from effect controls I am using scale and position. With these three tools I will be able to edit the whole sequence of story and put them together. Now let's move towards the green screen editing. So importing all the green screen sequences, we will step by step cut out the only part which we want. So first sequence is Prince walking, second is fighting, third is repairing and all that. Now pay very attention to the process here. Go to effects and search for ultra key. Type ultra key and under video effects and keying you will find a effect called ultra key. Drag and drop these to all the green screens. Then under effects control scroll down and you will find the effect ultra key. Now here from key color use a dropper and place on the green screen. So basically it will remove the key color green and will leave the character as it is. Now using a royalty free background and green screen clips which are being edited, we can form an animation like this. Let me show you. First of all, I will take a royalty free background which I have already selected, increasing its length, and then as you can see our green screen is totally gone and Prince is seen being able to move freely under any background. Now from Effects tab, search for Crop tool and drag and drop over green screen. And then you will be able to crop left, right, top and bottom so that you can remove the watermark of chroma toons and the edges that are left over. Now selecting a different background and keeping the green screen of Prince and the fort same, you can show something that Palace runs and Prince finds every time he runs and hides away. Second effect we're gonna use is flip. So drag and drop the horizontal flip over the Prince green screen and then as you can see the Prince has completely flipped its side. So animating sequences this way along with voiceover, you can complete the rest of the story. Chapter 10 Others. Let's see some more things that you can use in Premiere Pro while editing with voiceover and clips. Let's say we want boy walking on street thinking of his father. So adding some PNG royalty free images and cropping the main frames, we can create something like this. You can use stock videos and create an animation like this. combination of chroma tones and using Premiere Pro can be very helpful.